Hello again and welcome back to another cycling time-lapse video. Today I'm going to do something that I thought I'd done at least once in the past, but I guess not, at least on film, and that is record the entirety of Drake's Trail from start to finish. What is Drake's Trail, I hear you ask? Well, it's not this. I'm currently cycling to Drake's Trail. There'll be an annotation on screen when it starts. It's a really nice mixed-use walking and cycling path that connects Plymouth to Tavistock. Those names probably don't mean very much if you don't know the area, but they're two. Plymouth is a city, Tavistock is a town, fairly far apart, and Tavistock is in Dartmoor, so it's a really sort of scenic ride to get there. The path that we'll be riding on is a disused railway that was obviously removed, ripped out, and paved over. And this is where it begins. There we are, part 2, Plymouth to Yelverton. It's a really fun bit, the bit between Plymouth and Yelverton. So Yelverton's kind of the halfway town. A lot of people like doing just Drake's Trail from Plymouth to Yelverton, and that's it. Some more insane people like doing, Plymouth to Tavistock, or, another subset like doing Yelverton to Tavistock, that sort of thing. But this is the trail here. Isn't this really nice? I wanted to capture this on video just for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I just fancied doing the bike ride, and I thought, well, that's the end of that justification, actually. The other thing was that I like to tell people a lot about, some good bike rides if they want to get into cycling and some nice, easy trails that they could try. And I always recommend Drake's Trail. And they always say, hey, I've got a little video of me doing the trail so you can see where it is and what it looks like and where the entrance is and which way to go. And I don't actually have any video of the full thing in its entirety. I usually start by going off on some A roads to cut the first bit out, or I kind of don't do the entire thing on the way back, etc. I just really wanted to be able to say I've got the whole of Drake's Trail from Plymouth to Tavistock on camera, time-lapse. There's just a little thing I wanted to do, I suppose. So that was the objective here. And it was really fun. I think it was my problem is my Strava crashed for about an hour of the ride, so I don't know how accurate it is, but it's about 60 to 70 between those kilometers in terms of the whole Plymouth to Tavistock bit. Obviously, that's including my little ride from my house to the beginning of Drake's Trail. So it is a long old way. If you're getting new to the sport, I wouldn't recommend doing Plymouth to Tavistock. Maybe just Plymouth to Clearbrook or Plymouth to Yelverton or Yelverton to Tavistock. The bit between Plymouth and Yelverton is much more forgiving and, easy than the Yelverton to Tavistock bit. The Yelverton to Tavistock bits, it's much steeper. There's more climbing involved. Plymouth to Yelverton, it's much more mellow. It's basically just a very gentle climb all the way there, and then a very gentle descent all the way back. And it's just great. You might have noticed there are a couple of tunnels on this route, though. I think we're about to come to one now. Yeah, we're inside a tunnel. This one's quite unpleasant because it rains inside the tunnel, so you get wet. The other tunnel is curved, so you can't see the end of it, but it's much more dry. But here we are, arriving in Tavistock. Yeah, I mean, it obviously been 3 minutes of video. It took a little bit longer in real life. I think it takes a couple of hours. I should have prepared notes, shouldn't I? Before I started doing this commentary. But at the end of the day, it's all about the footage. And hey, if you want to see this video kind of without commentary. So guys, when I say I show people videos, I don't just show them the ones of me going, hey guys, it's me, Matt Lound, Kerbal Space Program YouTuber extraordinaire. I generally show them the alternate edits of these videos, which is the music video. So there'll be a link in the description, or maybe I just make both of these videos public, so it'll be in your sub box. Haven't decided yet. Oh, we've made it to Tavistock, by the way. It would be, I think there's 3 songs to play for the duration of the video rather than having my commentary, so I show people that. I say, just watch this, you're going to listen to my voice, and you can see where the entrance is, where the exit is. And once you've kind of seen what it is and what kind of bike check, there we are. Once you've kind of seen what it is, you can have a look at the maps and get a GPX route or whatever. And, I don't know, guys, just have fun riding a bike. It's a good sport. I'm actually recording this commentary I just got back. I stuck all the GoPro time-lapse into Vegas Pro. The time-lapse is largely being done by the GoPro itself. I tweaked a couple of the speeds here and there, because obviously when I'm climbing, I'm going much slower than when I'm descending. So I edited the speed a bit to try and make the whole video have a somewhat consistent speed, for want of a better phrase. But yeah, so I just quickly did that, and then I just started talking. So I currently stink. I'm a bit sweaty from just going to the background. I haven't had my shower yet. I'll be doing that one while this is rendering. But yes, here we are in the horrible leaky tunnel again. And yeah, I love this bit that's coming up in just a second. Wait for it. There, this thing, Gem Bridge. It's a restored railway bridge. The old one, I don't know if it collapsed or whatever, but obviously that was not the original railway bridge that we just crossed. That was added a few years ago now, just to help make it easier for cyclists and walkers to cross that little valley that the bridge spans. Before, you had to descend down to the valley, and it was a horrible, like, stony path. You couldn't really ride a bike. Well, you couldn't ride a bike down it, and I wouldn't recommend it either. So that's a really nice thing that they did. And this is probably the worst climb of the entire bike ride. This bit here, yeah, it doesn't really look that steep. And obviously, I sped the footage up I sped the footage up a bit more for that climb to make everything seem like it's the same speed. But trust me, guys, it was a really, really steep climb. And yeah, here we are back in Yelverton. So I'm assuming there's going to be a little title card on screen denoting that. I don't think this is this might be like a little hamlet outside Yelverton called Lego Mutton. I'm not sure. But this is Yelverton here. So now we can just cross this horrible road and then back onto the lower part of Drake's Trail, which is this is the more mellow part of Drake's Trail. So yeah, if you're ever in the Plymouth area, southwest, Devon, I would recommend it. You can hire bikes as well, including e-bikes from the Koi Pool Park and Ride. It's not that, but there's like a little cycle centre in the Koi Pool Park and Ride car park. So you can just Google that, and it will probably be quite easy to find. And yeah, it's great. Have a fun old time. Have a fun time. I don't really have anything else to add though that's meaningful in terms of commentary. We're getting close to the end actually. Anything I wanted to say that I've been doing in my real life? Trying to think. Oh, I just bought the GTA trilogy for PS4. I know, the really bad one. But it was reduced from £55 down to £10 on Amazon. So I'm like, well, it's a tenner. I grew up with GTA San Andreas. It's my favorite. I put so many hours into that game. If I could get just 10 minutes of enjoyment just driving around San Andreas, reliving those memories for a tenner, I'd say it's worth it. And you know what? I've been really enjoying it. I've been doing a lot of the story missions. I've just done all 12 paramedic missions. Oh my gosh, guys. So basically, in GTA San Andreas, you can... This is like completely off topic, isn't it? But in GTA San Andreas, if you like commandeer a ambulance, you can then do paramedic missions. You can just drive around picking up patients, taking them to the hospital. And there's 12 levels. It takes about an hour. But it obviously gets a bit boring towards the end. And obviously, it's a race against the clock as well. So it's quite stressful. Every time the new patients pop up on the map, you've got to open up the map and try to figure out an optimal route to pick them all up. Bear in mind, the ambulance can't take all of them all at once. They're going to take 3. But it's a real nightmare. And I did it. And I was like, yes, we've done it. So then I went to press save game. But I forgot that the old GTAs, you can't save in the menu. You have to go to your house and walk into the floppy disk icon. But I just pressed game, and then it brought up a list of all my saves. And I'm like, right, let's just click that one to overwrite it. But I didn't realize that by default, it would just load it. So I pressed X, thinking it was going to save, and it just loaded a previous game. And I lost all of my progress. So I had to do it all again. So I had to do the paramedic mission twice. It was a nightmare. I wanted to cry, but it was fine. We did it, and I got the reward, which is you get a massive health boost, and I don't know, I think that's it. And you get a lot of money from doing it as well, so there's that. But yeah, we just finished Drake's Trail. Now that tangent is over. I finished Drake's Trail. I didn't fancy riding along that big, horrible, what's it called? Ring road that you saw you cycle up at the beginning. I decided to take a detour along this. This is Saltram Country Park. It runs along the River Plym, which obviously the River Plym gives Plymouth its name. The Plym mouth, the mouth of the Plym. Plymouth, that's if you're just not familiar with English coastal town names, you see things like Falmouth, Plymouth, wanted to know why they have those sorts of names. It's the mouth of whatever river they're in. So obviously Falmouth would be the mouth of the River Fal. Plymouth is the mouth of the River Plym. There's Bournemouth as well. Well, there's lots, I'm just saying. And then, yeah, we're just on this little path, and then we're about to cross another bit of disused railway infrastructure. Just a bridge. I think this was restored in 2015. You can see it up ahead. That blue bridge. That used to be a train bridge, but then the train route got ripped out, and now it's a cycling and walking bridge. So lots of fun to be had. And now we're getting to kind of the least pleasant part of the ride for me, and that is we've got to go back onto the roads, sharing them with cars. And Plymouth really doesn't have any very good biking infrastructure. Obviously, that's kind of sounds weird because we've just been on a wonderful piece of biking infrastructure. But I mean, it's a pleasure route, all right? If you actually want to get around town and commute and stuff on a bike, there isn't really anything, unfortunately. So yeah, there's lots of cycle lanes that stop and start, like that one there. Another cycle lane ahead that then ends. I decided to just veer off into this park and cut across, and just, you know, didn't have to go up that hill with cars behind me, and there's no cycle lanes that all get stuck behind me. And it's just very stressful. I really like road cycling, but I just don't like sharing the road with cars. It's very scary. So yeah, if cars just go extinct, then I'd love to take up road cycling. But until that day, which obviously is not going to happen, I'll just stick with gravel bikes and mountain bikes, I think. But yeah, we're back home. Just going to put my rack back on the bike. This is my commuter bike now. I got rid of my, well, I haven't got rid of it, but I don't use my hardtail to commute anymore. So now I use that gravel bike, and I've got a pannier rack that just clips on and off. And guys, we made it. And your reward for making it this far is you get to see Hurricane. So yeah, that was this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.